10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start.
All right, let's get this thing going, man. Let's get it going. So today is June the 8th, 2022. So for our tens of listeners out there, hopefully you tuning in on Facebook Live, maybe YouTube. We don't know, but
yeah,
we're gonna rock and roll with this thing. Rock and roll. Speaking of rock and roll, let me introduce our guest today. We're down to, instead of 2 Hicks, 1 Yankee, I believe we're 3 Hicks today. So with us today, we have the one and only Ethan Beck from West Lincoln native. What's up, buddy?
What's up, brother? Glad to be here.
I appreciate you joining us since Yankees got some family in town, and I'm glad he's getting to spend some time with them. I know he's got a house full, and everything works out really good. Brian, yeah, everybody feeling better in your house?
It's been a week, buddy. I went out of town with Andy last week to do his bourbon tasting. Got home and everybody had the flu. So been taking care of everybody. Everybody's back at it today.
I'm glad. Sound like everybody went to school today and feeling a little bit better. Hopefully that trend continues through the week and you got a good weekend by the pool. You got a beach trip coming up?
Yeah, man. Going to Topsail Father's Day week. So week after next.
Awesome. Full house?
Oh, yeah. It'll be a good time. Brother-in-law, sister-in-law will be there. My Aunt Kim, she'll be there. So it'll be a good time. What about you? What'd you do this week?
Let's see. Just continuing on the renovations. Got another bathroom underway. Played a little golf yesterday. I believe yesterday, yeah. Had a good time. Just working. Volleyball season's wrapping up, so that's coming to a much needed close. Need to change your pace here, but just staying busy, staying active, getting a lot of projects done. Still can't get in my garage yet, but hopefully that'll be rectified soon. So today, couple highlights about June the 8th.
I see, baby.
New guy.
Sorry, we got an intruder.
Hey, what's up, girl?
You say hey. Say hey, everybody. This is my oldest Hattie.
Hey, Hattie. I know you can't hear us, and we look like a bunch of weirdos, but we're really not. We have kids too, so just know we love you. We appreciate you.
All right, baby, go play.
All right, so June 8th, it's National Pick Your Poison Day. So, we got a couple rules here on the podcast. So, number 1 rule is always in effect. And also, today, Brian Pruitt, this is from me to you. is National Best Friends Day. Whether you're near or far, old or new, best friends help carry us through all of our lives. This June 8th, National Best Friend Day, is a time to tell them how much we appreciate their company. Friends help cope with traumas, job loss, illnesses, or death of a loved one. They also encourage you to change or avoid unhealthy lifestyle habits like excessive drinking or lack of exercise. So today's the day we enjoy a little one-on-one time with the people who never fail to catch us when we fall. So appreciate you being there for me through the years. And I wish I could exercise because every time I call you, it seems like you're running or bicycling.
Well, thank you, BFF.
That's right.
BFFE.
So, since Timmy's away, Ethan has graciously stepped in. He's wore his Sunday best outfit for us today. So, a little bit about Ethan. He's AGR Supply Sergeant in Lincoln. Grew up in Vale, North Carolina. Went to West Lincoln High School. Attended Lenoir-Rhyne University. Played a little baseball. Graduated with a major in sports management and minor in business. He's been married to his wife, Casey. They've been together for almost 10 years. We just met his oldest daughter, and he's got a new baby, Harper, who's, a month old, 4 or 5 weeks?
1 month today. Yep.
So Beck is joining us because he's on his paternity leave while everybody else is at annual training. And I love it. I do. I love it.
Smart play. So let me ask you a question. Is Vale, is that close to Cat Square?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
I heard them boys from Cat Square are tougher than guys from Vale. So I don't know, but it's just what I'd heard.
I mean, the road runs from Vale through Cat Square and keeps on going. So, I mean, it's a tight-knit group down here.
Yeah, they have some pretty banged out parades too. I mean, it's special. Christmas parade, everybody's wearing pajamas at 3:00 in the afternoon too. They do it right, that's for sure. So
that's pretty cool.
We're gonna do a little interviewing time with Ethan. So we definitely want to get him to know him a little bit better. So Brian, you want to go ahead and start off with your first question?
So yeah, how did you end up in the North Carolina National Guard, man?
So, long story. So in high school, I initially met with the Marine recruiter and the Navy recruiter and stuff like that. Wasn't sure I wanted to play baseball. Mom was 100% against me going into the military. So went to college, played baseball. Still had a desire to serve once I got out of college, but I'd already put down some roots. Enjoyed the job I had at the time, and so they kind of limited my options, and then found out at the National Guard and what all goes into it, and found a unit in Lincoln right down the road. So it all worked out.
Who was your recruiter?
My recruiter was Daniel Moose.
Oh, okay.
He was, he was. I think he's back at the training center down at Benning. Yeah, he wasn't in recruiting very long. He had a desire to get out of that and go back to the training center.
Yeah, Moose he came to us in the 113th M Day off of active duty, and I was like, dude, what are you doing here? You're way overqualified for this skill profession. So
now I will say, like, in his defense, like, you hear all these horror stories about recruiters and stuff, but he was a straight shooting recruiter, never BS'd me, never lied, never promised anything he couldn't cash in on, nothing like that. So I was very grateful. We still keep in touch. So, I mean, I was very appreciative of him being that guy for me in the recruiting process.
Where'd you play college ball at? I heard you say you played college ball.
Small town school, Lenoir-Rhyne, Hickory, North Carolina.
You never heard of Lenoir-Rhyne?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I mean, it's like smaller than. I mean, it's a small school.
Well, I believe you're
Yeah.
trying to transition into question number 2, aren't you?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they had about twice the size of my high school whenever I was there from 2009 2013. So they've done a lot of growing since then, and got a
they had
couple NFL draft picks, and putting themselves on the map right now.
they had a good baseball this year. They had one, I think maybe their first team All-American pitcher this year. So
Yeah, and then first conference title since I think it was 2001 or something like that.
yeah, I'm excited to see they're redoing the stadium there behind the gym. So that's a pretty good place to go watch a football game, indeed. So continuing with the guard trend, let's just say you're the rule maker for the day. Give us something you change in the guard to make it better, or just make it more fun, or give us your thoughts.
Yeah, so this was a tough one. So I guess I've got two. So I guess my first one, I haven't already said it. I'm an avid hunter. I love going to concerts, stuff like that. And I feel like every concert or opening weekend of hunting season, whatever species it is on a drill weekend. It doesn't matter. I don't know who plans these things, but it feels like they're not hunters. They don't like music concerts. Like they always fall on those weekends. So that would be one. More serious rule I would change is holding soldiers more accountable. I feel like when I got in, that soldiers were held more accountable, more standards, things like that. And then these days, it just doesn't seem to happen.
I agree. There's that trend just didn't start. During your generation, I can say I noticed the biggest change is when we switched to the ACUs out of the BDUs. I think that's when we got even more a little laxer, and just those changing those little kind of details just really opened my eyes to seeing some stuff. So, what about you, Brian?
Yeah, I don't know any rule that I would change, but I agree. I think every generation before us said the same thing, though, that it was getting a little more lax with every single generation. I don't think anybody said that the Army got stricter at any point in time.
Yeah, true. What do you? So, what's your thoughts on the new PT test? Is it implemented fully, or seems like every time I read they were pulling it back, changing something, adding an event, taking an event out.
Yeah, so my understanding is it won't be implemented 100% to where it goes against you until September 1st or somewhere around that time frame. But yeah, me personally, I like the initial PT test that was put out that held everybody, no matter your gender, your age, or whatever, you was held to the same standard. Still broken up by heavy, medium, light based on your MOS or whatever, but everyone was held to the same standard. And it's obviously, if you've kept up with it, gotten away from that. Now it's based on gender, and now it's based on age, and it's getting back to the way the old PT test was, per se, in that realm of things. But I personally like the new PT test. I just wish it would have stuck to the original standard, because everyone was held to the same standard. So you cut out the questions of if females should be allowed in combat MOSs and things like that, because they had to meet the same exact standard as the male. And then now they've gotten away from that because there were so many failures that it's basically back to where it was. It's just a different test. And honestly, I feel like this one's a little bit easier than the previous one now compared to the original.
Yeah, I remember reading when they first come out, they were trying to get away from, they were trying to invent a test where you just didn't do events to train for the test, like push-ups, sit-ups, and run, And then they created a test which requires you to practice each one of these to get better in them, especially pull-ups and chin-up, knee-ups, or whatever. I mean, I don't understand. Whoever invented it definitely did not have the guard in mind, because that,
yeah, it's very difficult.
There's no way you can do that. I mean, it takes you a whole drill weekend to do a battery. It has to.
Me and the full-time staff literally that I work with sat down and talked about it. And if you do it the correct way by the book, I mean, if you're at full capacity, full strength, I mean, yeah, that's a whole drill weekend.
Well, you
PT
just
test
think,
alone.
the amount of people, onesies and twosies every drill that need a PT test for a school or they
Yeah.
failed or make it. You're taking away your key leaders all the time. You're not going to get anything done.
No, because I think the time limit on them is, I want to say like 2 to 3 hours for the new one, like to go the entire way through. And it's just, it's an all-day event right now.
Yeah, I didn't think the old test was that broken that you needed to come up with this new solution.
I agree. I didn't think it was broken. I mean, I hate sit-ups. I'm not very good at them. I could pass them, but I'm not very good at them. So I enjoy not doing sit-ups anymore. But yeah, I agree. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier about holding soldiers accountable. I mean, it's going to come back to the same thing. So, I mean.
Yeah, it goes back to that whole, the intent behind that new test was really good because it was supposed to prepare you by MOS, for what you would be doing in combat, the original one. And then, like Ethan said, they just got away from the intent, poorly executed.
Yeah, I still can't believe they. I mean, the amount of dollars they spent on this equipment and designing these quad cons to carry this stuff around. I mean, it's somebody landed a good contracting gig off of it for sure.
I'm telling you, the day that the Army announces they can let those pull-up bars go, there's gonna be some units trying to make some money off those things.
Yeah,
because they're obsolete now.
You got what? 4 of them in Lincoln?
Yeah.
Well, because that includes what would you'd gotten a detachment, but it's crazy.
Yeah, if you do Army wide, I mean that's a lot of numbers. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, and well, not just the equipment, but trying to find a place to do it. I mean, look, especially for guard. I mean, you got that beg, bar, and steal some real estate.
Yeah, no, we're fortunate in Lincoln to have good relationships with the high school and the county and things like that. But it was entertained at one point. We were going to have to coordinate with Bragg for a drill weekend just to get a PT test done.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. See if it, like I said, 1 September's coming fast, but see how they really implement the go no go for record kind of thing. So, not that I do PT anymore. So.
I know we tried to get you to come to AT this past weekend, but you just couldn't get you to buy it.
I missed the drill letter. I didn't get the email. I mean, is that a valid excuse?
Well, you can talk to I won't say his name, but you can talk to my training NCO about that. He needs to get you on that email chain.
Okay. I'll do that. I'll do that. But, well, I'm glad you get to enjoy time with your daughters and your wife, and you're not there being miserable because we talked. I mean, the supply sergeant's role at AT is, what you really going to be doing if you're not doing a log pack?
Yeah, it's very limited. So
yeah,
they're gonna be doing some drug test. That's what I bet they'll be doing.
Well, they don't need me for that. Yeah. My UPL days are over.
Yeah. Well, they're talking about legalizing marijuana in North Carolina. I think it's passed like 1 House and 1 Senate vote or something. So, I mean, what do you think is going to happen with the guard, or what do you think about them making it legal?
So I'm all for it. Think about it in this is the way I think about it in this aspect. So think about drunk driving, alcohol, all the things that have happened with that. Like that, in my perspective, that is far more dangerous than marijuana. And it's legal. It's killed more people, caused more heartaches, everything along those lines. In my opinion, I think the only reason it's not yet is probably, finding a way to regulate it finding a way to test it in, a vehicle or something like that. I'm not aware if there's a way to do that now, besides the field sobriety test, but there's no like testing method or anything like that. As far as it goes though, like I said, back to the alcohol thing, I'm all for it. I think it causes a lot less harm. It has a lot more benefits to people who can use it for health reasons, cancer patients, whatever it may be. But on the military side, if it's not federally legal, then we fall under those regulations. So
No, yeah, that's coming. I think it's going to come
Yeah.
federally.
Well, I mean, too much of a good thing is a bad thing, right? So,
yeah, it takes a couple bad apples, to ruin it for everybody. So
yeah, I definitely think it should be decriminalized somewhat. I just, but like you said, it's all about regulating and licensing and what's legal, what's not going to be legal, and
But here's my kicker to that, right? I'm all about it, but the flip side of the coin is how many years have we spent getting people to try to quit smoking now, to quit using tobacco.
Yeah.
And, we're just legalizing another smokable leaf to replace big tobacco.
yeah.
Right. I mean, that's the counter argument.
Well, I would say,
But I think
it's healthier. It's less destructive on your lungs because cigarettes got tar and everything in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's because the way it's produced.
Right. If it was just produced like straight tobacco, it may not be as big of a deal, but that's not the way that corporate America does things.
Yeah, but corporate America is going to be who's going to take over the marijuana industry.
I agree 100%, but
that's why I say we shouldn't be restricting cigarette sales or vaping.
No.
I think the age limit. Yeah, you said an age limit, 18, 21, whatever you want it to be, and stick in and let them do that. But we spend all this anti-tobacco money, and then we are going to legalize it. Just another different form, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about the studies on marijuana, long-term effects, things like that. I'm not even sure there's been a study done on it for the long-term effects. We obviously have those for tobacco and alcohol and things like that, but maybe that's something that needs to be put out there.
Yeah, or legalize or let cigarettes go. Leave them alone. Leave the tobacco industry alone. Let them do their thing. So, as a baseball fan, did you watch the Rays or hear the news about the Rays?
I did. I've read many of articles on it.
Yeah. What do you think about it?
So, my thoughts on it are you're pushing. Let me restart on that.
Go ahead.
So, is Pride Month, LGBTQ plus month, whatever,
LGBTQIA.
There you go. Regardless, like whatever you do in your life that makes you happy, like go for it. But like it doesn't mean other people should have to succumb to it. Like if it's not in their beliefs, and most of what I've read from the players on the Rays was they didn't want to do it because of their religious beliefs. They didn't put these people down. They welcomed them to the communities, all that stuff. There was never nothing negative said about these people. And, now they're catching hell because they're not succumbing to society's norm now because it goes against their beliefs. And I mean, why does anybody have to succumb to anybody's beliefs? You believe what you believe. If they're not putting you down because of it, they welcomed you. They just said they don't agree with it. They're not downing you. They're not doing anything of that nature. So I don't see the harm in it. And, I agree with them 100%.
What do you think, Joel?
Well, I mean, I think we all agree. We want everybody to want to live their lives how they want to live their lives. I don't care if you're
100%.
I mean, you do you, buddy, or whoever. I'm with you, but sports on a uniform. I mean, come on. mean, it's everywhere you look this month. It's every time you click on social media, it's very prominent these days, and it's enough. I would say that about any subject. I'd be like, golly, can we move on? I mean, you just think this country was founded off of the backs of dead soldiers, and they get celebrated for one day. You have one day of remembrance, and that's it. But you want to have a whole month, and you're just, oh God, here we go. Timmy has joined us.
We can't hear you, Tim.
We can't hear him
either. He must have an opinion about something.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So Timmy, I know you can hear us. You get an A for effort, but an F for execution right now.
Yeah, poorly executed.
You have failed.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, should I boot him or what? He hung up. I didn't have to.
Oh,
poor guy.
So
he's trying to come back.
But we'll move on. Go ahead.
Let me tell you this about that. The Ray players not wearing the flags. You talked about being founded on the backs of soldiers in one day, but a lot of these companies aren't as woke as they pretend to be. They do it for that ESG rating, right? There's a rating kind of like your credit score, but it's called ESG, and that is why a lot of these companies do it. They're not really that woke. It's about environmental, social, and governance. Yeah. And they get a score. And these large companies like the Vanguard won't invest in them unless they have a high enough score. So they have to do these things to get that score up. But it's all subjective. A subjective scoring system. It's not objective like your credit scores. Pretty crazy, but they're not all as woke as you think they are.
Yeah, so to add on to that, you see, you'll see American, Mercedes-Benz or something like that, and their logo is, the pride flag or whatever. But if you look up, Middle Eastern Mercedes or their Twitter page or something like that, it's the normal. There's no pride flag, anything like that. So, I mean, like you said, it's all subjective to what audience they're targeting. So I'm a huge believer. I'm sure you've seen the meme of, I wish the gay couples could smoke their weed and shoot their guns in peace or whatever. You're like,
yeah,
that's what I'm for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
So we're talking on the subject of sports. Let's stick right there real quick. So again, we're talking about rule changes or implementing stuff to make games more fun, more entertaining. So you could change one rule in sports. What would it be?
Yeah. We know there's only two real sports.
Baseball and football.
Baseball and wrestling.
WWE and football.
No, Brian. We're talking about real wrestling.
You don't mean
like
wrestling.
Olympic wrestling.
You don't mean
no,
wrestling.
We don't mean wrestling. We mean wrestling.
No, that's no. WWE and NFL. Only two sports. But go ahead.
So, anyways, the reason being, baseball, you play to the end no matter what. You got to give the other guys a chance. There are no ties. Wrestling, same thing. There's an outcome at the end of the sport. So, soccer, football. I don't really watch basketball, so I don't know if they have a tie or not, but you should play until there's a winner. I don't like football. Both teams get I think they've changed the rule recently, but I think this coming year they've changed it where both teams get the ball, but in previous years, But yeah, there's a winner. There's no ties, anything like that. Fight till the death.
That's a good one. What about you, Joel? What's yours?
So I really like watching hockey, right? Those dudes are so athletic and so big and so tough. And, if they don't like a guy, they can just square up and fight. They don't get kicked out. they just go to a penalty box, and you got to be like, all right, you're playing 4-on-5 for a time. So all sports should be that way. If you got beef and you're gonna run that mouth, you should be like, all right, ref. As soon as somebody hits the ground, they break it up. You should be able to square up. Let's get after it. Take your little timeout on in the penalty. Your team's going to suffer, but all sports should have a fighting rule, not a bench clearing brawl. Pitcher, it's
mano a mano.
Let's do this. I think that would be great to watch because a lot of guys trash talk and run that mouth, but they get popped in the face one time. They might think twice the next time. So that would be my rule: is fighting is allowed.
I didn't think about that one. That's a good one.
I mean, I don't know if you watch the hockey playoffs. I mean, those dudes are amazing to me. How big they are, how fast they are, and how tough they are with a piece of steel flying at their face. It's just crazy.
Yeah, they're a different species. You see all these guys with their teeth knocked out, and yeah, they're insane. They're on another level.
Yeah, I just all their changing of the lines and coming in and out. I'm like, what is going on here? It's good. It's fun to watch. And it's even more fun in person, I believe, because the cheaper the seats, the better. Because the higher up, you can see everything. So we should go to a hockey game, Checkers game, check it out. It's pretty fun to watch.
I did that once. Went to a Checkers game, and I got so inebriated in the parking lot, and I'd never watched or knew anything about hockey. Not a thing.
Brian, I've never heard of anybody tailgating a minor league hockey game. That is impressive.
Yeah, we did. And so a buddy of mine that I went with, he had never seen hockey either. So at the end of the third period, everybody gets up and leaves, and we're like, well, where's everybody going? I assumed that there were 4 quarters or 4 periods or something like that. And so like for 10 minutes, we're just sitting there and everybody else is out of the arena. True story.
Yeah. I remember my very first hockey game, or I don't know if it's game, match, whatever. I was at Fort Bragg, and they had the Fayetteville Generals or Fire Ants or something at the time. Me and my wife went down there, and I, double fisting it, trying to find my seat. They haven't even dropped the puck yet. I mean, they're squaring up at the center ice. The ref goes to drop the puck, and the two guys that are facing off drop their gloves and just circle each other and start fighting. They hadn't even started the game, and they're fighting. I was like, this is the greatest sport on earth. I mean, and they grab, basically you grab a hold of somebody with your less dominant hand, and you're just throwing haymakers until one of them connects. And then they got done, and they went over to their little penalty box, wiped the blood off her face, and I don't know, 2 minutes later, they were back in the game. It's great. Epic.
I like the sport. I like it a lot.
No. What's your next question, Brian? What you got for us?
Toughest question we'll ask you all night. What's your favorite podcast?
No pressure.
So, in all honesty, I listen to 2 religiously. Joe Rogan and 2 Hicks 1 Yankee.
So who's better, us or Joe?
I don't know.
Not by listener count, by content and quality.
So if you go by each episode, I'll say you guys are a little bit better because I'll listen to all your episodes. Joe, I pick and choose.
See? Batting 100.
Is
it batting 100?
We're a smorgasbord. Batting 1,000.
Batting 1,000. That's what
1,000.
Yeah, batting 100 is not. You swinging and missing 9 times out of 10. I mean, you're the general manager. Your wife's coach. You should know that by now. You don't know how to keep the book yet.
Oh, dude, let me tell you what happened when she was dealing with the flu. I took Alvin to a T-ball game, and I had to do her job. And at the end of the game, they're like, tell your wife she sure was missed today. Like, it's a lot harder than it looks, doesn't it? I'm like, bro, I mean, this is the very first time I've ever done this. Like I had to
Wait.
keep
I got-
moving the tee and putting the bats up, and I mean it was yes, yes.
Who said that? A parent sitting in the stands watching, or another?
No,
coach?
the coach. The coach
Oh,
said that
okay.
to me.
All right.
Yeah. He's like, a lot tougher than it looks, huh? And I'm like, dude, I've never played the game. I've only come and watched. So my wife has done all that. But yeah, I messed up a couple times, and I could tell parents were mad at me. But
So Brian, I really need to see this. You know, I'm an avid listener, so I need to see this. What was it, JD? 1 out of 4 he hits out or something like that.
I
Every
don't even
pitch?
remember. I don't remember the number, but he was saying he could.
dude, I'm
He
ready.
could hit an underhand
ready.
softball out a
Yes.
200-foot
Yes.
fence.
Yes, all day. All day. It can't be that hard.
I think there needs to be a 2 Hicks 1 Yankee home run derby.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I got it. I got it all day. All day.
It's not going to happen. I don't know if you make contact 1 out of 4 times.
Dude. As long as we're not throwing wiffle balls, because I saw John Hearn was watching, and that John Hearn, he got me with the wiffle balls in our act. No, at the Charlotte Armory, because he went up there and threw that wiffle ball, and he could throw a curveball with it, and I thought it was going to hit me, and it was coming fast. I didn't like it.
I think he played college ball at Catawba too. He's a pretty good athlete.
He did.
Yeah.
He gave me a lot of scrap this last deployment because he went to Catawba. So
Yeah. He'd throw a dang wiffle ball, I'll tell you that.
That'd be fun to do as a wiffle ball tournament. But yeah, we're definitely doing this softball challenge because it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, and then we're going to do a 5K right after that.
Hey, I'll be 1 for 2 because I'm going to win one, and I want to just let you run 5K. Yeah, I might walk a 5K. Do I get points for finishing?
Yeah,
I could outwalk Tim.
yeah, you could. He's old.
Yeah. So Ethan, I know we got some crazy questions. So here's one I'll propose to you: is you're in the middle of a career in the military. What'd you want to be when you were growing up, around 10 years old? What'd you want to do?
Oh, that's easy. I want to play baseball for the rest of my life at 10 years old. I thought that's what I was going to do. I was living that dream up until I became somewhat apparent of how the real world works with baseball and making it big. That's all I ever wanted to do.
What position did you play?
So in high school, I was kind of a utility guy. Played a little bit everywhere. I literally pitched 2 innings in high school just so I could say I played all 9 positions. Was not a pitcher. But primarily I was a catcher, played third, second, outfield. I would say throughout my career, that was the primary.
Yeah, I would probably say at 10-year-old, I had aspirations of playing baseball. I grew up, loved it. A small hometown, we played every sport because wasn't nothing else to do. I mean, we had a swimming pool, but
Didn't you play college ball?
I did. I played at Marseille, same conference as Lenore Ryan, the old SAC 8. Catawba, we had Carson Newman, Newberry, Wingate. I don't know if Wingate was in our conference then, but
I'll tell you, my 8-year-old, I don't think at 8 years old he has any aspirations to be a baseball player. He's ready for this season to be over. He likes the snacks after the game. That's his favorite thing. Snacks.
I mean, if I was 8-year-old, I'd be looking the old juice box and some goldfish.
That's right.
I'd be all over it.
That's what he looks forward to. He did get the game ball though last week.
Is it up in his room? Or
it is. We got the trophy. Yep, we got the trophy. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yep.
Well, hopefully Hopefully, he's had some fun this year.
Yeah, I told you I busted his mouth with that first practice. I didn't know what supposed to throw the ball like that.
Did you toss it or did you overhand?
They said go out there and practice catching pop flies, so I threw him straight up real high in the air. He come down, popped him right in the mouth, man. Poof, blood everywhere.
I'm sure he blamed it on you, right?
Of course, it's my fault.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I told him it's the worst thing that's gonna happen. Knock on wood so far.
Yeah. So Ethan, you're dressed like the Tiger King or the Leopard King right now. So if if they had to make a movie about your life, who would you want to be the lead actor in that role?
All right. So I asked my mother-in-law and my wife about this question earlier. And some of the answers I got to be honest, I was a little disappointed in there.
Sorry.
I thought they loved me. I thought they liked me. But, a lot of their answers, apparently I'm a comedian. I didn't realize that. I think the first one was like Adam Sandler, which I got nothing against Adam Sandler.
He's not a very masculine dude.
No, but he's
Do you
athletic.
see the shirt he's wearing?
He's sneaky athletic.
Yeah, he is a good basketball player, that's for sure.
And I'm a diehard Kevin Costner fan, but he's a little out of my age range. Yeah, I can't think of anybody. Honestly, nobody's gonna agree with it. But if I had the choice, it would be Marky Mark.
Okay.
Yeah, we're Wahlberg fans on this
Yeah.
show. You know that, right?
Yes.
I mean, you picked the wrong Wahlberg. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's not the best actor compared to his brother. His other brother makes good hamburgers. So.
Joel, who would play you?
I don't know how to look at this question because immediately you want to think of someone who resembles you physically, but I would think, I'm more like a Clint Eastwood kind of guy, Robert Redford, just super handsome, likable kind of guy. I think those are, I could fit in any kind of role, but I would have to say Kevin James, because Here Comes the Boom is my favorite. I'm Paul Bart from All Cop. That's my guy. Kevin James, baby.
Swear to God, that's who I would have picked for you too.
I knew you were going there. I knew it. That's why I circled back because I was like, oh, it's Kevin James. I mean, he did a pretty bad Sean Payton movie, but I'm sure he could adapt,
That's who I'd have picked for you too.
What you got?
Ron Howard.
Oh.
I've been called that my whole life. So why go against the grain?
He's a pretty good director. Let's just put it that way. He's a really good director. So
let me ask you this. In that movie, what would your last meal be?
Oh, man. I don't know. I feel like if you take me to or just bring some people in from Chima's, a lot of steak on a skewer, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
I'm a meat guy, so I mean I feel like I can't go wrong with that. That and maybe some Fruity Pebbles on the side,
Or Lucky Charms. Tear up some Lucky Charms.
Yeah. What about you, Joe?
As you can tell, I like to eat. But speaking of eating, I don't know if he's listening or not. Me and Ronald had to go out. We had a big old piece of prime rib Saturday. It was a good date. I would have to go with probably some steak or pork chops. I love me some pizza too. But I don't know if this is last meal like I'm on death row about to get executed,
That's how I took it. That's how I
Yeah.
took it.
Mine would be
Last meal was last meal.
mine's a PB&J with a glass of milk, man.
Oh man.
the Crustables, man. Those I could eat a dozen of those things.
That's
What?
it, PB&J.
What flavor? Strawberry or
Grape.
grape? Okay,
Hey,
I'm just
grape.
asking then.
There's
Oh.
only one flavor when it comes to PB&Js.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody
That's a
knows
good
that.
choice. That's a good choice. I don't know. I like me some chicken gizzards too. I don't know if everybody's a big fan of chicken gizzards, but I can eat
I don't
those
eat
things
chicken
all day.
gizzards.
They're good.
I like
Really good.
I like chicken livers. I'm not sure if I've ever had a gizzard.
I do oysters and beet juice.
Mm. Oh, me and that Matt Craig went out. Funny story. Craig wanted some oysters, so we went to Big Daddy's, right? So on the wall, we sat at the oyster bar, and on the wall was like 6 for this amount, 12 for this amount, or a peck, which is kind of like a bushel, big net full of them for like an astronomical price. Well, guess how many was in a peck that they had right now? 12. So we got 12 oysters and they charged us for the peck price. I was like, what is this racketeering going on right now? But they were some big oysters. Steamed. Could have been steamed just a little bit more, but they were thick.
They have beet juice.
No, butter and garlic and some cocktail
style.
sauce.
Not my style.
I did ask the guy if he had any beet juice, and he's like, beets belong on the salad bar, and we don't even carry them on the salad bar. So I don't know what that was all about.
Haters gonna hate.
They didn't have any information on the Cadillac oysters.
Well, man, Joe, you are you doing any wisdom this week, or we also need to ask about Ethan and his what is this you're trying to do, a nonprofit?
So working on lining stuff up for life after the military, getting everything ironed out, all that good stuff. But yeah, so one of the goals for the company I'm working on is, create a nonprofit, college, or not necessarily college these days, but any kind of scholarship. You want to go to trade school, whatever, if you're worthy of it, then why not? Yeah, just giving back to the community, things like that. It's not about making money for me. It's about giving back, and that's what I want to do. I want to help veterans. I want to spread awareness to men's mental health. I want, help kids get through school or trade school or whatever they want to do in their life, and give back to the county, give back to the community I'm from. That helped me get to where I'm at today, and that's the end goal. That's the big picture for me. It's not about making the money. And then working on lining stuff up for that, and seeing where it goes.
That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, some of those nonprofits I think they call it operating expenses, and they don't. Some of them I've seen don't seem to give back as much as you would think they would, and so it's good that you want to do something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty admirable.
Yeah.
I know Brian's a real business savvy. He's helped me with when I was working on some stuff. So you got a couple dudes that you can pick their brains. Don't ask Timmy because it's terrible. Terrible.
No.
You see tonight. I still see him trying to pop in. I don't know if y'all still have that.
Yeah, I still have him trying to get into the show. So, but what?
Yeah, I do have some quick words of wisdom. I know we're about that time. So, I may have mentioned it before. I consider it an honor that people reach out to me for advice. Still to this day, people I've met all over the state, call me and, want to pick my brain or run something by me, or even at work, come in the office and shut the door and need to talk. So just want to give some of my advice about giving advice, because, we all think we have the best perspective sometimes, and that's not necessarily the case. So I made a few notes. One, it's not your place to judge them, right? They're coming to you in a moment of maybe a weakness, but it's not. I wouldn't say you should leave all judgment out, but included in that is providing them with some honest feedback. Don't tell them what you think they want to hear. If they're coming to you, you should have the integrity to be honest with them and let you know, hey, yeah, this is my feelings towards your situation. The good Lord gave us 2 ears and one mouth. So yeah, normally it's a good time for you to just be quiet and listen. Maybe even take notes, whether it's mental or physical, to provide some feedback. But somebody's coming to you for some life-changing, life-altering advice. You should, take the time, eliminate some distractions. If it's something of serious matter, maybe set a time and a place to where y'all can meet, where it's a little more relaxing, more conducive to have a conversation. Talked about providing some honest feedback. Play devil's advocate sometimes. Whether it's them versus someone else, give the other person's viewpoint just to open somebody's mind. You don't always have to give advice either. Even if they come to advice, you should have the fortitude to be like, hey, I don't know, dude. I don't know what's best for you. I can tell you what I may do or what I'm thinking, but I can't give you advice in this situation. Don't improvise. Don't overstep your boundaries. And last but not least is, check in, follow up, be consistent, and most importantly, have some confidentiality, right? They're coming to you. You shouldn't share their stories with anybody else. That's a huge breach of trust and a great lack of integrity. So that's my words of advice for anybody giving some advice these days.
It's a good one, man. It's a good one. Ethan, you got something? You got a limousine ride?
I don't get
cocktail
no
fly?
applause.
Sorry, I don't have that set up yet.
Okay.
Sorry, my bad. I get you applause next week.
No, yeah, I do have one question. So apparently we're going to be playing golf this Friday with Timmy. And he's been talking a lot of smack. So Timmy, I'm sorry. I feel like you're going to be disappointed.
Oh, he's going to come out with some. He's going to come hard and heavy with some poor mouthing, and we need jokes, and we need this, and blah blah blah. I mean, he's going to bad mouth. But
Ethan, have you played with them before?
No, I've never played with. I've never met Tim. I've never met his brother. I never played with Joel. So,
yeah, it's them boys get competitive. They went to the beach a few months ago, and they were both texting me mad at each other because they got so competitive about this belt. I mean, they were mad at each other.
I will say. Mad.
Oh yeah, y'all were mad. Yeah,
I wasn't mad because I won. Woo! I still got to
say that's.
I might bring it and walk up on the first tee and be like, Ethan, hold this. I can't tee off with all this weight around my waist.
You should. That'll put him intimidation 101.
I think that's a good idea. I think you should, and video it for our social media. We'll put it on TikTok.
We should. But I will say the belt's not up for, it's not up for a loss in this tournament. It's got to, not like I'm going to lose. We're not going to lose. I'll tell you that much. We're going to bring it home. It's going to be early morning. Might start off with a Bloody Mary, but it's going to be a good time.
I wish you boys luck.
We don't need it. Just got to be consistent. Nah. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Playing in Huntersville, it's a nice track. So shout out to Burkdale. They give a pretty nice veterans military discount there. So they do a good job. So Ryan, what you got going on till we see you again?
No clue, man. Work. I don't know.
No big weekend plans? Going to the pool?
Nah, hanging out at the pool. I'm getting my tan on.
Ethan, you got some projects going on?
Nah, so we're getting our house added on to right now. It's the reason I'm at my mother-in-law's because they're paying our house right now. But nah, golf with JD on Friday. Got some plans with the wifey on Saturday, and then just enjoying these next 2.5 weeks I have off with my family. Just spend with them and enjoy actual time with them, not being distracted too much.
That's good, man. Use your leave, man. Some people go on vacation and continue to work. It's you need a break and be with your family. So, what you got? All righty, we'll try to give a video update on the golf on Friday. So,
I want to see
it.
it.
Time.
All right, fellas.
Keep your phone handy. It's coming.
Sounds good.
All right. Appreciate y'all.
All right, boys. Enjoyed it. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.